Today is Friday, 7th April 2023. This is Today Africa, and I'm Amik Hassan. Welcome to another new podcast today. But before I go further, let me just applaud the people who are subscribing and liking the video, commenting. Keep doing that. So if it's your first time coming across this channel, I ask you please to kindly press the subscribe button and like the video, share, because all we do here on this channel, we talk about Africa. It is important, and the most important thing why I'm asking people to like the video, share, it is because of what I'm seeing here in the studio. When I check, I can see YouTube is suppressing the videos. They are not under restriction, but the message are actually stronger, so they are suppressing the video. So it's good for us to like the video and share it, because it's all about education across Africa. So with that being said, let me just begin the little knowledge I have for today. So today I'm going to talk about this guy, the former British clown minister. Oh, sorry, I thought prime minister. Did I say clown? Okay, maybe because sometimes he behaves like a clown, so that's why. So it's not. I'm sorry for calling him clown, you know. But let me talk about him, the former British prime minister called Boris Johnson, because I came across a video. He is in Nigeria, you know, and we all know. Most of us, let me don't say we all know, most of us know the reason why he's in Nigeria.
Imagine the Moscow police arresting Vladimir Putin for having lunch at his desk for 20 minutes. Can you imagine the Chinese police doing the same thing? Yes, doing the same thing to Xi Jinping? Whatever else I'm very proud of what the UK did when I was Prime Minister to help them with lethal aid. We were the first major European country to give them serious quantities of lethal weaponry, the shoulder-launched anti-tank missiles in particular, and they helped the Ukrainians to kick Putin's forces out of Kiev, out of the Kiev region, out of Kharkiv, out of Kherson, and I believe that this year in 2023 they will be able. So let's stick up for the ideas that unite us: free trade, free speech, free elections, no matter how difficult they may seem, not just because, or how controversial, not just because they're nice to have.
This has been the activities of these people. Whenever there is problem or there is something they want to contain, they fly so quick to Africa and fool us. And then, most importantly, they were succeeding in doing things like that, because whatever they say, we believe them, you know. But the reason why the former British Prime Minister went there, it is for reasons that most of us we know. But before I talk about the reasons, this is the very prime minister that went to Kiev to stop the peace talk between Ukraine and Russia when the conflict started. And it is the same reason they have sent this same guy again to Africa, thinking he can convince the African people, Nigeria to be specific, to achieve their goals, just like the way he succeeded in killing so many Ukrainians and Russians. Because otherwise, if he had not gone to Kiev to stop the peace negotiation between Russia and Ukraine, those 200, 300 men that have died in the Ukraine and Russia war, they wouldn't have died today. But because of him, those men are gone. They're never to come back. So this is the man that is in Nigeria. And to my suspicion, let me know what you guys think about this, especially the Nigerians, in the comment section below. Because there's a rumor going around that Nigeria is about to apply for BRICS membership. This is the Brazil, India, China, Russia, South Africa alliance. So they are trying to form an alternative alliance to counter most of the financial system across Europe and America. So that might be one of the reasons why he is in Nigeria, just like he did it in Kiev. And because the video, his speech is so long, so I could not play all of that on this podcast right now, but I will just play maybe 1 or 2 seconds so people see. And then if you want to see the full video, you can check on it on YouTube. It's available there, you know. But there are a few things he talked about there in Nigeria, which for me it's childish. He talked about democracy. He talked about freedom of speech. He talked about Boko Haram in Nigeria, and then he was even projecting if the police, the Russia police could arrest the president Vladimir Putin, or if the Chinese police could arrest the Chinese president, which is Xi Jinping, you know. So for you guys to know how these people are liars, you understand, and fake and false hope. See, he's projecting if, how could it be if the police, the police force in Russia could arrest Vladimir Putin, the same thing to Xi Jinping in China. But he didn't talk about the Joe Biden that already arrested Donald Trump. He didn't talk about that. So you see, because everything these people say, it is the opposite. Just turn it the opposite. Okay? Because these are the people preaching democracy all across the world. But look at what is happening in America. He didn't talk about anything like that in Nigeria. What is going on, how the Democrat, which is the Biden administration, is suppressing a major opposition leader, which is Donald Trump, which 99.99% that he could win the next election in 2024. So they are trying to stop him in every possible ways. But he didn't talk about that in Nigeria, that Donald Trump is being arrested or being charged with 30 or 31 accused or whatever charges. He didn't talk about that because he is there to put down China or Russia, you know. Like he even mentioned that I think the Britain, or they have some of the best universities, more than China and Russia. But I just want to remind him, in China, they produce more engineers than any other country in the world every year. The university graduate, guys, check it. Not even China produce more engineers than even the United States every year. So I don't know what he was talking about that. Okay, so I just want to highlight some of the things that sometimes we see these people talk rubbish, but we don't know, because what I'm doing right now, passing this information, these are things that we have been lacking before. We don't do that, so we are succeeding in fooling us by buying into something that is actually lies. Just like everything he says on that stage was false and fake promises. And then he talked about the Boko Haram, the terror attack in Nigeria, about the Boko Haram. That is why, this is where I have problems with the Nigerian leadership, because this guy was there talking about Boko Haram and terrorist attack. But this same man, the weapon they are sending to Ukraine is now surfacing in Nigeria with the Boko Haram. And that same weapon they're using to kill Nigerians. So why is the Nigerian leadership, you understand, couldn't ask him and tell him that this NATO weapon you are sending to Ukraine is now surfacing in Nigeria? So this is the problem of Africa, because where to talk, they are not talking there. So that is one problem. Because I just want to highlight that everything he's saying here, it's fake. That is one, Boko Haram. Let me now talk about when he talked about freedom of speech. That everyone should have the right to speak freely, and it's your fundamental human right. Wow. To my surprise. But this same prime minister, they arrested Julian Assange. Julian Assange right now is a journalist who is a free speech journalist who speaks fact, and he's been arrested in the UK. And Julian Assange was arrested in 2019. So shortly after Julian Assange was arrested, and this guy came into office, this this former British clown minister, oh sorry, I'm still saying clown, this former British prime minister came into office, you know. So Julian Assange is in prison, and then he's there talking about freedom of speech. So I just want you guys to see that how these people are deceitful. So everything he says there is total rubbish. And then he talks about Nigeria and the UK share values together. Let us try to make this correct. Nigeria and Africa, UK or America, we don't share any values together. That is my opinion. But if you have other opinion, let me know. Because if we share values together, then today we shouldn't be having fight about homosexuality in Africa or the LGBT community, LGBTQ. We shouldn't be having fight about that. But we don't share values together. But the word values, share value, it is always on their script. Every time the script is being given to them, that is there to say we share values together with country A, country B, country C. No, we don't share any values together. That is why we're having this conflict right now, cultural conflict. So you see, so the Nigerian leadership, I don't know what you guys were waiting when this guy was talking such nonsense, and you guys could not even counter his statement. But it is all because the Nigerian leadership is corrupt. Let's take a look at the newly concluded election in Nigeria. The president-elect, the walking dead man. Because that guy is walking dead. He's dead alive. So if you see a man like that as the president of Nigeria, there is no future for Nigeria. There is no future. Just look at that. Because these people encouraging these Western leaders going to Africa, talk rubbish, do rubbish, sell the continent because it benefits few of them. What about the rest of us? We suffer in Africa. So Nigerians, let me know what you think about the visit of the former British clown minister, prime minister. Let me know what you think about that, because it is not a sign of a good future, because that is to stop Nigeria not to join the BRICS bloc. And if that happens, it's a problem. Because, let me make one thing again. He talked about Putin failed. He miscalculated about the invasion of Ukraine, you know. This is the problem again with these people. When they say, oh, Putin miscalculated, he was supposed to capture Kiev, blah, 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 blah. You know, this is the problem. They miscalculated. The president of Russia never miscalculated. They miscalculated. Why? Because if they had succeeded in punishing Russia or Putin, they wouldn't have been today in Africa begging Africans to side with them. Because if they had succeeded taking out Russia, next China, then when these African countries sees what is happening to these great powers, Russia and China, who dare you to talk as an African leader? You cannot talk. But just because they have failed, Russia is winning, China is winning. So the only option is to go to Africa and fool the people again, just the way it has been happening. So that is why. So look at him, they are saying, oh, you know, Ukraine is winning. Ukraine. Who cares if Ukraine or Russia is winning? People are dying. That is what is most important. People are dying. Whether it's Ukrainian, whether it's Russian, these are lives. These are men. These are somebody's sons. They are dying. But they don't care about people. They just care about their goals being achieved. They succeed in whatever they are trying to do. That is what they care about. So whether you die or you didn't die, it's not their business. So look at the nonsense he was talking there in Nigeria. And people are there clapping. This is the problem of Africa, you know, because we are supporting, we hail people that are killing us. Do you know how long trade, this trade they are talking about, Nigeria, Africa, European Union trade, or the UK or America? Do you know how long that topic has been for? It has been forever. The only value that Africa share with the West or America, well, it's poverty, suffering, pain. That is the only value these people share with us, because everything you talk about these people, when you talk about values, that's the value that we have. It's poverty. And poverty in Africa, it is not by accident. Poverty in Africa is designed for, it is designed. It is designed. Can you imagine? We have everything when it comes to minerals. We have everything. But yet still, we are poor. Because they control the market. We don't have market. Because the leaders take everything and sell it to them for free. Or give them for free. So that is why the rest of the population in Africa suffers. So, Nigerians, let me know what you think. That visit was not a good visit. It is just the same visit that he made to Kiev to stop them from negotiating with the Russians. So that is why he's again in Nigeria, because Nigeria is a great power with oil and gas, to stop them from trading with Russia or China. That's the reason. So Nigerians, don't allow that. So I stopped for Nigeria for now. Let me talk about Sierra Leone, because I am from Sierra Leone. I was born and raised in Sierra Leone, but there is a little bit of conflict going on right now between the ruling party and then the main opposition leader, which is Samura Kamara, the head of the APC, and then the ruling government is the SLPP, which is Sierra Leone People's Party. So there was an incident a couple of days ago when the main opposition leader, which is Samura Kamara, was, I think, traveling from Freetown, which is the capital city, to a place called Mile 38, because it is all across social media now. But I don't care about political parties, because that has been the problem of Africa, because we support political parties more than the country, more than the continent. So that is what that has destroyed Africa, because we pray for our political parties than the country. So I don't care whether it's APC or SLPP. What I care about Africa, and I care about Sierra Leone. But one thing that actually pissed me off about this investigation, because there is a investigation going on right now because of the alleged shooting and destruction that took place there, and then they say the German embassy is part of the investigation. That is a shame to Sierra Leone. Let me talk about that. Shame. Because what I want to say is, Sierra Leoneans, the German embassy or the German leadership is in no place to investigate any crime in Sierra Leone. Okay? Because in Germany today, they have a very big problem that they should investigate, but they have not done that. So how do you want to investigate another problem in Sierra Leone? Your whole pipeline, gas pipeline, was bombed by a terrorist, unknown terrorist, and you cannot investigate the terrorist behind the bombing of your pipeline, gas pipeline from Russia to Germany. And then you want to investigate problem in Sierra Leone. When will you guys stop policing other countries? When will you guys stop interfering in other countries' domestic political affairs? Go, please, the leadership of Germany, go and investigate your bombing of the Nord Stream pipeline first before you investigate the crimes in Sierra Leone. Because the one that happened in between the bombing of the pipeline, that is what has caused the increase of fuel price, food commodities, and everything. That is a major problem. So you guys should first go and investigate that before you investigate Sierra Leone. So Sierra Leoneans, take note of that. Even if the investigators are people who lie so much, they lie. And one thing again, I am warning Sierra Leone. This is the third video I have done. I'm warning Sierra Leone because there is too much EU Sierra Leone meddling right now, and that is a recipe for disaster. There is no place these people go they will leave something good. No, it is always a problem. So Sierra Leoneans, take note. Take note. These people are not there for blessing. So we in Africa, we have to help ourselves. The problem with the APC and the SLPP, you guys are the two major parties in Sierra Leone. Sit together and resolve the conflict, because that will help Sierra Leone and that will help Africa. Stop calling these people who are the enemies into your political affairs. Stop calling these people into these problems. They don't call you into their problems. Every problem, every disaster that is happening today in Africa, these people are maybe responsible for these problems. Let us take note of this. Warning to Sierra Leone, warning to the government of Sierra Leone, the present leadership of Sierra Leone. This EU meddling, it's a problem. So I stop here for now, and then if there is any other thing I get later concerning the problem in Sierra Leone, I will talk about that. But for now, let me stop here. Nigerians, let me know what you think about that visit in the comment section below. And Sierra Leoneans, let me know what you think about the problem with Dr. Samura Kamara and the SLPP government. Let me know in the comment section below. So if you thought this video was useful, you can please help and promote the channel by subscribing and like the video, share it all across Africa, because that is the message. So see you on the next video.